everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are already on month 6 of Cotton Cut's Spring 2025 Puzzle Mystery Quilt Flyway. I am sewing up the large Phoenix. This month we have 2 blocks again. We have 2 of section 6A and we have 2 of section 6B. So again, it's another month where we have used every single fabric option. So I'm really excited. I feel like it's going to be really evenly distributed, or at least in my head, that's what I am envisioning. So let me know in the comments what you are thinking so far. I'm loving doing all the economy blocks. I mention that every time, but it's just something so different that I feel like hasn't really shown up in our past puzzle mystery quilts. So also, signups are still open for Under the Sea. If you have not signed up already, I highly recommend doing so, especially because once the first clue ships, you can no longer do the prepay option, only the monthly. And I definitely recommend the prepay, so that way you have everything up front, and as soon as your clue is emailed, you're able to start. Again, I'm going to place the link in the comments for that. You can use my code AMBERSEA, S-E-A, and that will give you a bonus gift your first month, and it lets Cotton Cuts know that you do watch my channel and you're aware of everything that I'm posting on social media. So I do appreciate it if you use it. There's also timestamps in the description, and I just hope you enjoy this month because I'm having so much fun. All right, I have all my pieces laid out, my pressing mat, my mini iron. I'm using a 80-12 universal needle and some Gutermann thread. I have my color card here and my clue. So this month we have 2 sections. We're going to start with 6A. Again, these almost look similar to last month, except we don't have like a pinwheel. I'm really excited. We have the economy blocks. So let's see how it goes. We have 2 sections of each, so I will be dividing all these numbers in half. So for our first step, we're going to make 2 half square triangles. If you're doing both sections, you want to make 4. So that is with our A fabric and our C fabric. And again, I just like to kind of fold it back on itself to see if I can, if there's a side that looks like the wrong side. And I'm just double checking because I always confuse the yellow and orange fabric. Like I flip them around for some reason. I'm just trying to make sure that I have the same side, right side facing up. And I'm hoping that if I flip things around, we won't notice. I know I say that every time, but I'm just so obsessive about it. Right, and I'm going to sew these both at the same time. What's really nice about the batiks is that a lot of times when I sew the half square triangles, I have to be really careful because the fabric gets sucked down into my feed dogs. That has not really happened with the batiks. And I also sometimes like hand crank it down, especially on the little point. But that first piece is acting like a leader, so that also helps. And so for both of these, our fabric is being pressed towards the A side. So gently opening it and then just being extra mindful, especially on the half square triangles, that I'm not pulling it. I don't want to warp any of the fabrics. And I'm going to set them to the side for a minute because for step 2, we need to make a half square triangle with our C fabric and our D fabric. So one of the orange and then one of the yellow. Then right sides together. I feel like each month we've really been using every single fabric. Some of the other puzzle mystery quilts I've done have not had or have had a lot of months where we don't use some colors, but I feel like this one, almost every month we've used all the different fabrics. And then for this one here, we're pressing it towards our C fabric, which is the orange side if you are Team Phoenix. Can't believe it's already month 6. Time is just flying by. Okay, so now for step 3, we are using the piece that we just did in step 2, and we're taking one of these from our step 1 and adding it to the top. Now I'm going to use this one because I feel like the colors match up. This is more orangey. So we're adding that to the top. You'll know that you have it correct because your C fabrics should line up. And because these are die cut, even though they're half square triangles, the side will match up. Okay, and then for this one, we are pressing our seams down towards the bottom that has our CD fabric. Right, and I'm just going to set that to the side. Now we're on step 4, and we're going to need 4 of these. If you're making both blocks, I'm going to cut that in half for 2. So I need 2 D triangles and 2 A triangles. So again, the bright yellow and the hunter green. And I'm going to sew both of them at the same time, just like I did in the last steps. This really helps me save time. And as I've gotten more confident sewing, I do this a lot more often. Great, and then for both of these, our fabric is being pressed to the D fabric, which is our yellow. So I'm going to move one of these to the side because for our step 5, we need to take a square and add it to the top. It's going to go above our D fabric. So it's going to go up here and put right sides together. Sometimes I accidentally flip this around, so I'm just being very mindful that I'm sewing the correct edge. And for this one, we are pressing our seams up. All right, I'm going to leave it right there because our step 6, we are joining our step 3, which is this double piece that we just made, to the left of this one that we just did in step 5. So you should have 2 of these. If you're doing both blocks at once, you'll know you have them right because your D fabrics line up. And I'm just grabbing some clips because I'm going to put them right sides together. And if you have pressed your seams correctly, they should nest. So I just like turning it towards myself and kind of pulling the seam back to make sure that they are aligned. And then I will clip my edges. And for this one here, we are pressing our seams towards the left. So towards the side that has our C fabric. For us, that's our orange fabric. And because I took the time to really clip in the center there, the points really match up nicely. So I'm very happy with how that looks. And I'm going to set it to the side. Now we are on step 7. So I need my CA half square triangle that we made in step 1. And I'm making sure that I'm turning it so that my C fabric is up top on the right and the A fabric is towards the left. And I am adding a square to the right of it. And then I'm also going to do step 8 at the same time, because this one we're adding an A square to the left of what we just made in step 4. So this one up here is step 7. Just make sure you have your fabrics pointing the correct way. And then this one down here will be step 8. And again, make sure you have your D fabric. It's kind of reversed from the one up top. But I'm doing it this way just so I can save time and sew both at the same time. Right, and now doing our step 8. I'm just making sure that I cut them apart. Okay, so for our step 7, the one where we have our C fabric, which is the orange, our seams are going to be pressed towards the right, towards that A square. And now for our step 8, we're doing it the opposite way. So it's still going to be towards the A square, but that is going to be on our left-hand side now. And because step 9, we're now putting them together. So that's why I did 7 and 8 at the same exact time. Step 9, we need to reverse it though. So make sure that you're paying attention. We need to join our step 8 to the top of step 7. So our D fabric will be on the top right and our C fabric will be on the bottom left. So it is not the same order as we did in 7 and 8. So just pay extra special attention to that. And again, the seams are pressed in opposite directions, so they will nest. So I just took the time to line them up. And then for this one here, our seams are being pressed up top towards the part that has the D fabric. Oh, dang. Oh, I just wasn't catching it. I'm like, oh no, did I make a mistake? And again, I'm really, really happy with how this center point lined up. Taking the time and clipping your seams first, or pinning them, whatever you prefer to use, really, really helps. All right, so that is our second block. We need one more that we're making for our first section. Okay, and now for step 10, we're making an economy block. If you are doing both sections at once, you want to make 2. I will be doing 1. So we need our large A square and then 2 small B triangles. We haven't used this fabric yet for this month anyways. I'm just making sure that I have the same side on each pointing up. And then on our left-hand side, we need a small C triangle, which is our orange, and a small D triangle for the right-hand side, which is our yellow. And I start on opposite. I usually start on the right-hand side, mostly because I'm right-handed. It doesn't really matter as long as you are doing the opposite sides. Okay, and for this, our seams just get pressed towards the small triangles for all of them. Okay, and since I did that top right side, now I'm going to do my bottom left.
That's right.
And again, pressing that open. So for this, I sewed one at a time. Sometimes I'll sew both the opposite triangles and then press them open. So that is probably what I'm going to do for the next one. Okay, so I'm going to start on the top left with our C fabric. Again, lining it up. The triangle overhangs a little bit, but you'll see that when we sew it, it will fold open perfectly. All right, and what I mean by sewing the two opposite sides before pressing is, so instead of pressing that open now, I'm going to put my other B triangle right sides together because they're opposite. The seams do not overlap. This would not work if you sewed it like going clockwise or counterclockwise. You'd have seams flipping the wrong way. So only do this if you're sewing opposite sides. Okay, so now we'll press these open. I'll be all set to attach them all together. So now we're on step 11, our last step. We are leaving this economy block how it is, the same directions. We see it in the center. And so we need to take our step 9 and attach it to the right. So you will see that my D fabric for the center block is up here and my D fabric is over here. And that's how I know I did that right. And then our step 6 is going to the left. And we want to make sure that our C fabric is all the way over to the left. We should have the A block here in the top right connecting. So now I'm going to sew these one at a time. So I'm going to put this right sides together and then turn it towards me. And I'm going to try to match up this seam to the center of this triangle here. You can see sometimes they start to fold back on itself. So if I notice that, I will press the seams to kind of help. All right, and so for this, we are pressing our seams towards the outside, so towards the right for this one. And gently open. And that turned out pretty good. My center seam matches the point of the triangle. So I'm really happy about that. And so now we're going to attach to the left. Same thing, I'm going to put right sides together, turn it towards me so that way I can see it better. And then fold this back so I can just make sure that I am aligning it correctly. It doesn't always work out. Sometimes my machine will shift it, but for the most part, that strategy works pretty well. And so for this one, our seams are going to be pressed towards the left. So catch the back and gently open and press from the front. All right, awesome. So this finishes up our step or our section 6A. And you should have 2 of these. Great, so now we're on section 6B, and I'm going to make the 2 flying geese at the same time for step 1 and step 2. We need 2 for each, so I will be making 1 of each. And this is just so I can sew it at the same time and make them a little quicker. So for step 1, we need a large C triangle and 2 small E triangles, which is our blue fabric. And again, I'm just trying to see which side, right? And for step 2, I need a large E triangle, which is our blue, and then 2 small D triangles, which is our yellow. All right, and this way I can sew the sides of the triangles at the same time. Thread was getting stuck. All right, and we'll press each of these open. I just plugged in my iron, so it might not be hot yet. I think it's enough just to hold this back. Okay, and then we'll do our other side. Our second one here. Fine. Okay, and then again, pressing this open. And now for step 3, we are just going to rotate our step 2, so the side that had the small D triangles, and we're going to attach these together. Since there's no center seam or anything, I'm not going to clip them. I'm just going to line up the edge because they should match up perfectly being die cut. And our seams are going to get pressed up towards our large C triangle. Okay, and I'm just going to set that to the side. Now we are on step 4. We're going to need 4 of these, so I'm making 2. They are our economy blocks, and we need 2 F large squares. Okay, and then around each of these, we need our E fabric. So this is nice and can be kind of quick because you don't have to worry about different color triangles all the way around. I'm just trying to make sure I have them all facing the same direction. This way they all blend together. So hard for me to see like the weave of the back. All right. So for these, I am going to start with the top right. I think just because I'm right-handed, that's my preference. Again, the little triangles hang over. That's not a problem. Those will get pressed back when we add all four sides. And so I'm going to press each of these open. We could do the opposite side if you wanted, so both, and then do the pressing at the same time. But I'm just going to do it this way since I'm doing two at a time anyways. Okay, so now I'm doing the opposite corner. I've not made a quilt yet with so many economy blocks like this. So I'm really excited to see how they come together and what different shapes and patterns they make. Okay, and the same thing for this side. So have you signed up for Under the Sea yet? I still don't know my colorway. I think I might find out until it actually ships to me and I open up the box. So that will be a lot of fun. There's a lot of good options, so I'm excited to see which one I'll be sewing up. Okay, and again, be pressing these open. All right, so now we are starting on the opposite sides. And I just take my time, make sure everything is lined up. I'd rather sew slow and not have to pick things out or have to correct errors later. And each quilt I try to be a little bit work more on my accuracy, making sure that my blocks are even. This is probably the best so far that it's working. Okay, and before pressing these open, I'm just going to sew the other sides on this. It does tell you what size your finished blocks should be, but I never measure mine or trim them down. If I have like excess, I just hide it in the seam allowances.
Okay.
All right, so now I can press both open at the same time. So sometimes this is quicker. Just depends what works best for you. Okay, set that one to the side. Okay, and save for this one, because that finishes up our step 4. So now we need one of our step 4s. So I'm going to move that here because it's going to be on the right. And we need to join our step 3 to the left here. And so I want to make sure that my C triangle is facing up. My 2 D triangles are on the bottom. This one doesn't matter because the edges are all the same. So I'm going to put them right sides together and grab my clips. And I'm just, again, peeling this back like what I did for section 6A to make sure that they are lined up.
Okay. To the side.
Well, as I was sewing this, my bobbin ran out, so I'm going to rethread that. All right, so I just restitched this line for step 5. And so now we're going to press our seams to the right. I'm just trying to open this without tugging because I want this point to be as sharp as I can. Okay, so this is our step 5. I'm going to set it aside because we are making another economy block for step 6. And now for step 6, I need a large A square for the center. I need 2 B triangles. They are going to be on the left-hand side here at the top left, bottom left. And then our right-hand side, I need a C triangle, small C triangle, which is the orange, and a small D triangle, which is the yellow. And because we have different colors, this one, it does matter. We want to make sure that we are putting these on correctly. I'm starting with the top right like I normally do. And I'm going to wait to press it open. And I'm going to go the opposite side for a B triangle. Right, and so we are pressing both of these open. And then we're going to attach the next two. So I'm starting with my top left, definitely making sure that the two B's are on the same side.
Take the back.
Great, and I'm pressing this one open. I could have sewed the other one, I think just habit, I grabbed the iron. Okay, and then our last D triangle. All right, and we'll press this one open. Okay, and I'm going to leave it right here in the same exact direction because now for step 7, I'm just taking our piece that we made in step 6 and putting it this time to the left. And I want to make sure that I have both of my B triangles lined up with it. So I'll put that right sides together, turn it towards me so I can see the points of the triangle, making sure I clip it. Okay, and then this one here, we are pressing it towards the left. Again, opening it, but trying not to stretch it. Want to open it so I can really see the point here. All right, so now our step 10, step 8, we're putting them both together. And they're kind of already in the order that we need. I'm taking my step 5, just sliding it over. And so I have the F blocks opposite top right, bottom left. I want to make sure that I have my C triangle facing up. And then over here, I want to make sure I have my CD fabric. So everything looks good. So I'm going to put them right sides together. Plenty of clips. So I'm lining up my center first, just kind of folding that back, making sure the seam is there. And then I'm lining up the 2 points of these economy blocks. I want to make sure that the triangles are matched up as best as possible. This one I think is going to be a little bit off because I can see the way the fabric is lining up. Hopefully when I sew it, it will kind of stretch itself out and even out. I'm going to start with that side.
Good. Gotcha.
Okay, and then for this one here, our seams are being pressed down. So I'm pressing the back and gently opening it. We have it's a large seam all the way across. So I'm just trying to make sure I fold it open without really tugging everything. So the center looks great. This one on the right matches up fairly well. This one you can see part of my top of the point is cut off, but I'm not worried about it. Once this is all together and quilted, I'm sure it will be fairly noticeable. All right, so this finishes up our 6B block. All right, so we have just finished up month 6. We have 2 of our section 6A and 2 of our section 6B. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you do, I'd love if you subscribe or give me a thumbs up. It helps my channel grow, and I appreciate it so much. See you next month for month 7. Bye.